Hi, I'm Kevin Tame, and welcome to the Hacktivist. Today I'm playing the Bendy Max deck that was created by Travis Yo, or also known as Yoda, and I'm playing against Miti Mukunda. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know if I am or not. But this ID is actually extremely powerful, and the ability to just put an ice in front of something is just crazy. Komainu or Cortex Lock or DNA Tracker is just super strong. So my kind of general strategy to combat this deck is to get my conspiracy breakers in the heap as quickly as possible, and then make like strategic runs to get them to either use their ability. I also have Maw in this deck, so mawing out their ice is actually really important. Let's jump right into this match and see how it goes, because these are very difficult decks to play against. Okay, so this is an amazing starting hand, having the two sure gambles and the injects and the data folding. A liberated in there might make it even better, but this is still pretty good. So my opponent goes ahead and installs advance. It feels very much like an NGO, so I'm just going to leave it alone. If it is something like an Obokata, I don't really care because they're going to be broke, and then that's a perfect time for me to make runs. Seeing the Maw is also really good because I can start pinging their hand as much as I can. So they don't, it's interesting that they don't advance this. So it makes me feel like it could be an agenda, but I don't know. I'm just going to leave it for now because I'm not quite set up. I really just want to kind of make them broke. And if they don't see any of their income, that's really good for me, because then they can't, their ability is much more difficult to fire off. So they go ahead and they shipment because I didn't run Nisei out, which is good because that's going to be problematic for me. So I go ahead and, since they're broke and they can't install ice, I go ahead and check this server right here. It's a Nisei Mark II, which was surprising because I don't know why they would. I guess if they over advance it, I can think it's an NGO. And here I'm just kind of getting set up for my next turn. What I want to start doing here is I want to start, getting Maw down, and then, hitting R&D or hitting HQ. Mostly R&D is what I typically want to do, because then I get a Maw trigger plus I get an access on R&D. And my plan here is to do a deep data mining turn next turn, because they are pretty poor, and I don't see them. It's going to be difficult for them to. Oh, I actually opt just to wait here on the deep data mining and kind of credit up. So here in server 4, I'm not exactly sure what this is. This could be an agenda that they're jamming out. Could be like a Rashida, but that's kind of a risk with the Hacktivist. So I go ahead and I do a deep data mining now that I have kind of the money. They go ahead and stop me. Here I almost play deep data mining again, but the problem is I'm pretty low on cards, and I need to make sure that I have ability to fire off levy. So I go ahead and draw up just so I can find like another same old thing or something like that. It might have been a good time to, but I didn't have a lot of cards in hand, so if I hit Obokata or anything like that, that can be bad. Yeah, I really want to get this Hacktivist back down because I don't want them rezzing cards, any type of asset or any type of upgrade. And I see that they're Rashida, so like they're going to be firing off Rashida. So it's good to have Hacktivist down. For them, pretty much the next score is going to be trying to be Obokata, so Hacktivist is probably going to stay a good portion of the game. Though I am in a position here where I'm out of deck. They could win this game because I just don't have the cards. So I go ahead and I stall Maxwell James, and I'm going to go for a deep, or for levy. So that I can, and I run this HQ so that I can use Maxwell James in case if it was an agenda. But they were so broke, I shouldn't actually be too worried about it now that I think about it, because there's no way they would have been able to over advance on Obokata. They don't have the money for it. So they play Scarcity to clear out my Hacktivist, which is good. There is potential for me to like I just want to keep pinging R&D and just checking. This right here is they actually, let's see, they can't do that. They can't res Maryland actually. And this is they're not allowed to res cards with Hacktivist down in play. Oh, which I don't think they did that turn. It's this turn right here where they go ahead and they res Maryland to get it shuffled back in. And this is actually, I don't catch this, but they can't do that with a Hacktivist meeting. That's okay. I've gotten set up here pretty good, and the key for me is just to keep pressuring. This is an illegal play, so I let them know. I'm gonna actually zoom ahead here because we go back and forth about this being an illegal play, and I had to like show the ruling for him. So let me zoom ahead. Okay, so now that we're back, the game state is I had installed a same old thing, and then they had deres, and then they had drawn, and IPO'd. So those are the major changes. So I go ahead and I play inject. I find another deep data mining, so I'm going to fire that off. My opponent is likely to install an ice if they have one. I think they have a Cortex lock in hand, so it's probably likely that they're going to install this. Yep, and I just go and break it. It would be nice if I had Ice Carver. Ice Carver makes this 3 cheaper because it's a pretty expensive. It's an expensive ice for me to deal with. So now I'm here in a situation where I've actually lost a lot of my cards. I need to be able to levy again, but I don't. If I levy, it's also a bad time because they can, what's the word? They can jam out an Obokata or something because I don't know what these 2 ice are, and I might not be able to get in. So I'm going to go ahead and fire off another deep data mining, and the reason why is because I stole Obokata and trashed NGO, and then they drew 3 cards, so these are all new cards that I'm seeing. So I'm hoping that I can either hit Obokata or any agenda, and I win the game. But I see no agendas, so I'm going to go check HQ just in case there's one in there. And I don't think they have one, so my plan here is to levy here so that I have time because they aren't going to see an agenda here anytime soon. I'm actually debating if I should deep data mining, so I go ahead and do the deep data mining. I think this is actually maybe a misplay because it's unlikely I'm going to see an agenda, and they also have a lot of money so they can install, and I don't have the money to break the ice. The better play would have been either money up or to just levy and get through my deck quicker because I know they're not going to see agendas for a few turns. Because the bigger risk here I have is just actually running out of time. And now I'm really set back because I spend so much on those Cortex locks. I knew I couldn't pay for that because I was so poor. So that was actually a misplay there. And this is a scoring opportunity for them. So if they have Obokata, they can jam it. Or if they have another agenda, they can jam it because I'm just so poor. And I literally am clicking for credits here. I'm hoping that they just don't draw into their agendas. So I'm kind of in desperation mode. My play here is just to to check HQ just to see if I can either get an agenda or get a Maw trigger, and I'm gonna levy next turn because I have to. This one has 2 end the runs, so I break it and then I let it trash the program. It's not the most efficient way, but it's cheaper than paying 3 to keep MK Ultra. It's cheaper just to pay 2 to reinstall MK Ultra. But yeah, I'm kind of in desperation mode, and I need to just hit an agenda. This is good, just getting the Maw triggers as well. Also, it is nice that I have Maxwell James, that I am able to... okay, so it's kind of go time here. I gotta go hit HQ. I'm gonna stim hack this remote if I have to. So I have to break those 2, and I let the MK Ultra get trashed. And I'll get a Maw trigger here, and then Maxwell James is online, so that I can my play would be take Liberated and then stim hack into this server. But I end up seeing Nisei Mark II in HQ, and I end up winning the game. I was really on my back foot there at the end of the game. I had good pressure early, but my opponent was able to stabilize, and them actually getting those 2 agendas out kind of threatened me quite a bit, because then I always have to check server 4. Anyways, this is a pretty good match and pretty fun. I think this idea is really, really powerful, and conspiracy breakers are a great way to deal with it, but they are still pretty expensive. Anyways, thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.